Hi and welcome to the Malat Cookery channel. So this is another Chinese takeaway recipe. Going to be doing chicken with green pepper in black bean sauce. So this is another Chinese takeaway recipe from David Chu. He seems to be quite a regular contributor to the YouTube channel, so thank you very much again, David, for this particular recipe. So chicken with green peppers in black bean sauce. It goes without saying really that there will be variations through the country, but the main variation that I see is in the spiciness of this particular dish. Some restaurants and takeaways have it really spicy. They add fresh chilies in there. This particular takeaway doesn't. The recipe that I've chosen is quite a mild one. The only heat or spice comes from just a little bit of white pepper. They do have a spicy black bean on their menu. That's not the one I've chosen today though. Variations in this. So this particular takeaway make their own black bean sauce from fermented black beans. Don't want to get into that sort of detail. Some people might struggle to get hold of fermented black beans. So the chef has told me any decent black bean sauce from a Chinese supermarket will do. The second variation is that the chefs choose the individual ingredients as they're actually cooking the meals. We're going to blend everything together with regard to the sauce. It just makes it a lot easier. It doesn't affect the taste at all. Just makes it a lot easier for domestic cooks that don't really have everything laid out as you do in a commercial setting. As usual, a full list of ingredients will be given at the end of the video, so let's have a look at those ingredients now and anything else we're going to need for today. So the ingredients for today's dish, I'm going to split them in two. So this is the ingredients for the sauce or the seasonings. For 2 adult portions, you're going to need 70 millilitres of water. Just ignore the quantities that I've got here. I'm cooking for a lot more than that, but I'll give you the quantities for 2 adult servings. 70 millilitres of water, a teaspoon of corn flour, 2 tablespoons of dry white wine, a tablespoon of light soy sauce, a teaspoon of ginger garlic paste, 2 tablespoons of a good quality black bean sauce, a pinch of white pepper. As I said before, this is where the spice comes from for this particular recipe. If you want it to be a little bit more spicy, add a little bit more pepper, but I'm just going to be adding literally a pinch of white pepper. I've got a teaspoon of sugar, and the sugar counteracts the bitterness of the green pepper, and half a teaspoon of MSG. If you don't want to put MSG in your recipe, but you do want that kind of flavour that the MSG gives, then substitute the water for beef stock, and that will give you a very similar taste. Beef stock is normally the best alternative with regard to taste to MSG in a recipe. So the other ingredients, and again just ignore the quantities I've got here, you're going to need for 2 adult portions of a small chicken breast which has been thinly sliced, or half a medium chicken breast. Going to need about 2 small green peppers which have been de-seeded and roughly chopped, 1 medium onion, again which has been roughly chopped, similar size to the green peppers, and 2 spring onions as well, which have been cut into fairly large chunks. So the first thing we need to do is to prep the chicken for cooking. So I've taken some of the corn flour, just sprinkled that over the top, add in just a little bit of water, about 2 tablespoons of water, and just mix that in until all of that chicken is coated with this corn flour solution. So the next thing to do is I've blended all of these sauce ingredients together, and we're just going to reserve that to one side. So next we're going to the cooking stage. So I've got our well seasoned wok. In there is about 2 to 3 centimetres of just plain water. We're going to be cooking the chicken first. So I'm just going to bring this up to a gentle simmer, place the chicken in there and just simmer that chicken until it's cooked. Chinese takeaways and restaurants that I go to, some of them cook delicate meats like chicken differently. Some takeaways just put the chicken straight into hot oil and cook it that way. this particular takeaway chain, with something like chicken, they always simmer the chicken first to pre-cook it in water rather than put it straight into the hot oil. In goes the chicken. So the chicken is cooked quite thinly, so it'll take probably about 4 or 5 minutes just to cook through once it comes back up to a simmer. Once the chicken's cooked, it's then going to go through a sieve and then just rinsed to get rid of any corn flour residue that might be still on the chicken. Then going to just reserve that chicken to one side while we cook the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so our chicken has been rinsed and reserved to one side, and the wok has been cleaned out. Now I've just got some oil in the bottom of this wok just to coat the sides. Really important that you clean the wok out between these stages. I did ask why to a Chinese chef once, and he just looked at me like I was stupid. If there's any residue left in the wok gets, the sides of the wok get to such a high temperature that it will just burn straight away. So if it's residue of sauce or anything else, it'll burn, and that burnt flavour will transfer straight to the food. So really important you make sure you clean the wok out after each stage. Just going to get rid of the residue, all that oil, just to make sure that the only oil we've got in here is actually just covering the inside of the wok itself. Need to get that wok now to a really high temperature. And we just want to place the onion in there. I'm just going to cook this onion now for about 2 minutes. In go the green pepper. And again, we're going to be cooking these for 2 or 3 minutes. In goes our chicken. Again, just mix that in. Another couple of minutes in the wok. Okay, now for our blended sauce. Just add a little bit at a time until you get to the amount of sauce that you like. There you go, done. Chicken with green peppers in black bean sauce.